Well, yeah.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the World of Gray podcast. In a society divided by black and white arguments, we are here to explore
The world of gray.
I am Kelowna's Cougar Meat Kid Colin Cutler.
I'm the Flow Mike Chisholm. It is a pleasure to be talking at your face again,
it has
sir.
been
It's been a crazy couple
too
weeks.
long. My mother has joined us. Good timing, Mom. We literally
Jay.
just did the intro.
We love
I
you,
almost
Jay.
said antro or
Antro.
ancho, like a pepper. That's a pepper.
It'd be a momtro because an
Momtro.
antro would be for an ant.
I think she's just here to see Hardy. Come on, Hardy. Grandma wants to see you.
Hardy, yeah,
He's got his.
the star of the show. You work
He's
one day a
here.
week. You've had time off the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Time to shake your moneymaker.
Come on, Hardy boy.
There it is.
You're
That's
the
Hardy.
money.
He was named after a tag team.
He's named after a tag team.
That's true.
So not only do we want to catch up with each other, which we are going to do here today, but we want to catch up with our diehard fans that have clearly been waiting for us to come back.
Yeah,
here.
we appreciate all of you.
What
Thank
has
you for your
everybody
words.
been up to? What is new in the world? Jeffrey Epstein. I've heard there's a new autopsy that came out saying that it's more likely that he was murdered via strangulation. Me and my nephew actually talked about that a little bit because he's into the whole conspiracy of Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeff Steen.
He's
a friend of mine. That's what I'd call him.
Quinn's actually watching right now. But we were chatting about it. The thing with the autopsy is I love Mike's dance during the intro.
You're damn right she does. That's damn right. Your mom loves my dance.
That's funny.
That's
but
right.
with the Epstein thing, the autopsy was done by the lawyer of Epstein's family. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, man.
Have you heard anything about this?
No, not at all.
Let's move on then.
I like watching John Oliver and Stephen Colbert for my news, but I haven't watched very much of that this week.
I watched
It's been a busy week. It's been a weird week.
John Oliver did a really disingenuous, bad acting job on the Venezuela situation, so I kind of stopped watching him since then.
Really?
Yeah, it was really smug. It was very, it had a lot of misinformation.
Really?
Yeah, because the biggest thing with the Venezuela narrative is that the elections are corrupt, which is 100% untrue. The UN has gone into Venezuela. They've looked at the elections. They've actually said that the elections are some of the freest and most democratic in the world because of the structure. They do town halls, like a lot of town halls where people get to ask questions just like they do in the States. And what ended up happening is I'm not saying Maduro's like a good, like not some sort of a dictator. Like he has, from what I've looked up, he's kind of in bed with the cartels and like there's some corruption, right? He's like any other government is trying to get money right for himself.
Right.
But when it comes to the elections, the opposition was trying to make them look corrupt. So they refused to run against him because there was a chance that he would win democratically.
Interesting.
So they didn't run against him and they were trying to make it look like it was that no one was allowed to run against him. And then at the very last minute, somebody from another opposition ran against him and lost. So it kind of ruined the narrative, but then they still tried to be like, oh, it's not a true election. And John Oliver kind of spewed all that shit out and, oh, they're eating rats, which isn't true.
Right.
It's not like they are short on certain supplies, but they've had reporters go over into the supermarkets and, there's like a ton of food. It's just certain, there's a capitalistic company called Pilar.
Right.
That is literally withholding food.
Right.
To make it look like there's more. So it just makes me a little angry when people just start spewing misinformation. And John Oliver should know better. Colbert is like awesome though. Like,
I love Colby. I love Oliver too. Did you see last year? We're talking about WWE Crown Jewel. Did you see last year when Oliver went off on Crown Jewel?
Yes,
that was amazing.
Yeah, but that's a fair thing to.
Well, I think Oliver is fair more often than not. They do a lot of research. Paula Kreiderman, seriously, you didn't think that he was murdered? Cripes, the keeper of everyone's secrets. That's Jeffrey Epstein again.
I think he was murdered. Quentin has been sharing all these amazing memes that are like they'll look like a completely different meme, and at the end it's like Epstein didn't kill himself. Like it'll be like statistics on.
Who is doing this?
My nephew Quentin.
Oh, Quentin! I thought you said Clinton. I'm like,
Quentin.
What?
Like right now, Quentin's like, I'm cleaning, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Like there's this meme. It's talking about like it was like climate change or something. It's like percentages of all these things, like 75% of it, and then it's like at the end, it's like, and Epstein didn't kill himself. It just like throws it in at the end. It's so good,
man.
That's an interesting.
I'm glad that I'm not wrapped up in such intrigue and bullshit. I'm glad I get to live the life that I live, and maybe I get to live the life that I live because other people are involved in that kind of,
yeah, maybe
silly shit.
The Epstein thing is definitely interesting, though. There's a lot of little anomalies. But there's a lot going on in the news right now. I know a lot of people are talking about the Donald Trump impeachment.
Yeah.
What do you think the end game there is?
I think that the end game. I
Like,
think
what do you think is going to result of this impeachment? Because it's been formalized by the Democratic Party.
I
by the House.
would bet that we're going to see another Bill Clinton. I think that
Yeah.
this House is going to impeach him. I think the Senate is going to not.
Yeah.
And I think that he is going to run for re-election. That's the only interesting thing. Clinton, when his scandal broke, it was after his second his re-election, I should say.
I thought.
I think what's
no,
that?
I thought the impeachment was before, and then
No.
his approval rating up, and he got reelected. Oh, maybe
No.
it's just his approval rating went up. He didn't. It's not that he was running for re-election.
Yeah, I'm not.
his approval rating-
I'm not certain, but I do know that he ran for re-election and then got elected.
before that.
Before, yeah,
Okay.
and then it was during his second term. So it'd be interesting to see if the American people are willing to re-elect this man. It'd be that's the part that I'm, and I wouldn't be a hair surprised if they did re-elect him.
Yeah, from what I've heard from a lot of different political commentators, and then kind of my own opinion, I think what's going to happen is it's going to go like the impeachment obviously is going through. He's not going to get pulled out of office. It's going to enhance his approval rating. He's going to manipulate the narrative to make it seem like he's the good guy, and they're trying to like it's a conspiracy to keep him down. It's going to rile up just enough of a base to get him reelected, because it's also going to neglect enough of a left base that people just aren't going to come out to the polls.
Yeah, that could happen too. Also, the Democrats are, I think, electing.
Hey,
hey,
trying to run
it's
a
not an
professional
earthquake.
show here.
It's a dog quake. That's
It's a
that's all
dog
that's
quake.
happening there is a dog quake. Yeah, but you know what the funny thing about what we've been talking about is we're talking about the American election. Canada actually had an election during our break.
I was getting there.
Were you getting
Yeah.
there? Canada had an election.
Yeah, I voted.
I voted too.
I hope we all voted.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone got the results they wanted.
I can guarantee you one thing about this election.
Bobby Bass.
Not everybody got what they were looking for in that election. I can guarantee you that.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's a minority government. There's no,
I know,
there's no
man.
way everyone got what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love Bobby Bass.
Hey,
that guy's awesome.
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't want Sheer in power, but listening to Trudeau's first press conference after he got reelected was torturous. Did you listen to that thing?
No.
He was asked probably 30 questions and had about 4 answers.
They were all the same?
Oh my God. You could not have been more of a politician.
You know what, though? I'm
It
going
was
to give him a pass
amazing.
on that. I didn't see
nuts.
it, but I'm going to give him a pass because for the past 90 days, he was doing nothing but stump speech stuff. He was doing nothing but, he had nothing but canned answers on everything. He would pivot on things he didn't want to talk about.
That's what he was doing.
And I'm not surprised, though, because the guy just spent 90 days working his ass off, trying to get reelected or trying to get his party reelected. And so, I love that that it's a minority government. Like in theory, it means that they would have to work together. That was actually kind of what I was hoping for. I was kind of hoping for a minority government.
Yeah.
Whoever got elected.
So let me ask you this. I feel like you have a little bit more of a thumb on the pulse in Canadian politics. So
Okay.
what do you hope to get out of this, or what do you hope comes out of having this minority government?
Well, the problem is you talk about this hope, and I bring my hope in from the space of an optimist, and I am an optimist. However, I do not believe what I hope will happen will happen. What I hope will happen is that these groups will work together, though they have differing opinions on many things, that they will work together to get things done, because if they don't work together, the minority government thing is gonna rear its head. To me, that's another check and balance. I don't think they are going to work together, unfortunately. I think that we're in this cycle now, kind of what our friends down south are doing.
But if they were to work together, what are you hoping is achieved?
Well,
platform wise.
I think it's just like I saw Prime Minister Chrétien speak about a month ago. I think we talked about it once on the podcast here. He said something that I totally believe. You've got to be fiscally responsible.
Sorry, I'm trying to get him in the frame.
That's okay. Come on over, Hardy. You got to be fiscally responsible with a social focus.
Mm-hmm.
And
love that.
Yeah, I love that too. And I think there are a lot of things that can be done that the Conservative Party are talking about to spur on business here in Canada. I think it needs to happen. I think our economy needs some things that the Conservative Party have talked about. But I like some of the social cues that the Liberals take. So if they work together, those would be the things that I would hope that they work together on. So,
yeah, me and Quentin were talking about this last night, among many other things.
Sure,
but I think this is a problem with party lines, and kind of along the same lines of what you're talking about of everybody getting along, is sometimes because you have party lines, there's some things that one party will do that is very effective, and some things in their platform that aren't.
Yes.
And once you're stuck in that party line, it's really hard to like find that world of gray, like we always talk about.
Yeah, I totally agree with
And
that.
I think that's a big flaw to politics.
Yeah, it's notable.
Nate has joined us.
Nate.
That's Jordan Galpo's brother.
Oh, nice.
He's a cool dude.
Bork Hardy. What does that mean? Is that code?
I think it's like bark, but bork.
Bork.
I don't really know
That sounds
what
like
that
the
means.
Swedish chef.
Doesn't have to make sense.
Swedish chef talking about. Doesn't the Swedish chef say Bork?
I don't know who that is.
Swedish. Yes, you do. You know who the Muppets are.
Oh yeah, off the Muppets.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Don't do that.
Don't pretend like you don't know.
Don't
who this
do
Muppet
that.
Is. You ever watch Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm rewatching that.
Actually, no, I've never watched Hell's Kitchen. I watch his other one.
Oh, Kitchen Nightmares.
No. MasterChef.
What's the other one? Oh, MasterChef.
I watch.
He also
I
has
watch
the
MasterChef,
and he has the
yeah.
F word, but you've never watched Hell's Kitchen. Interesting.
No, I've seen clips.
Stressful.
He yells at people.
Yeah, it's on Prime right now, and I'm rewatching some of it. It's a little stressful though. And as someone that
We're talking about Gordon Ramsay. He's a chef. He yells at people.
He's great, but as like someone that used to be a cook, it just like it stresses me out. I could not do that.
No,
I
no,
could
me
not
neither.
do that
Food
job.
service has been an area where I have thankfully avoided. It's not in my gearbox at all. It's just not my. It's not my deal.
I don't mind cooking. It's just like that standard where you can't have anything even slightly over where it should be. Like
the pressure of work in a
man.
kitchen do not make me. No, that's not my deal. I'll tell you something about Gordon Ramsay that I appreciate more than anything is his scrambled eggs. I'll tell you why. Because my wife has learned to master them, and they are phenomenal.
Wow, you don't even try, do you?
What?
Have you ever made them? Just make Candace do everything?
I don't make Candace do anything. Let's be very clear about that. I make Candace do absolutely
2019. Make your own damn eggs.
Nothing. No, we have a thing in our house. My wife is an amazing cook, an unbelievable cook, and so I do some cleaning, and she does some cooking, and we call it even.
You know, we've really gotten away from this whole interactive thing. So when it comes to cooking.
Hey,
are you the cook in your house? What do you like to cook? What's everyone's specialty? Do you have a go-to? Do you cook an array of things? Because I know people that they don't cook very often, but they got that one dish.
Yeah.
Some people just have that one dish.
My wife's got like 9 of those dishes. What's yours?
I love it. My best dish is the cornbread.
There it is, the cornbread. 100%. I've had the cornbread. I was going to bring up the cornbread.
Another
the cornbread is amazing.
That I've tweaked from a recipe that we used to make at Hector's is it's a roasted red pepper whipped cream reduction sauce. Good, man.
Like a savory whipped cream sauce.
Well, it's not. It doesn't taste like whipped cream because whipped cream only tastes sweet because you add sugar to it, right?
Sure.
So you have whipping cream, and so I've used this for pasta, but it's usually for a fish.
Did you not just define what I just said? A savory whipped cream sauce?
I know, but you don't have to add savory.
Why not?
It. I mean, okay, I guess.
I don't have to, but I choose to.
All right. It's a cream sauce.
Right.
But you take shallots and you like cook that a little bit, and then a little bit of garlic, a little bit of roasted red peppers.
That sounds good to me.
You deglaze it with some white wine. Then you throw the whipping cream in it, salt, and some sort of acidity. Lime is your best bet.
I'd like to get some gnocchi out of that sauce.
Let that reduce.
Yeah.
It'd be good on gnocchi.
It would be.
Gnocchi's delicious.
Yeah, it certainly is.
What kind of dishes do you like to cook out there? Or maybe we just move on to something else.
Yeah, people can talk about what they cook. Hey, if you want to make a comment, I'm watching my watch party. So if you
we have someone watching us on the YouTube as well.
Hey, YouTube viewer, thank you, YouTube viewer. You know, we're gonna get this done right and promote this thing done right one day. Well,
we do have a producer now that has agreed to come on.
We do,
and we will get him helping us out pretty soon here. He showed me some things that we can do with the green screen.
The handsome one.
The handsome one.
Yeah.
Handsome Pete is going to be our producer. He showed us the split screen thing he has. You're going to get 2 cameras. We're going to have some close-up shots.
Yep.
We're going to have a green screen in the back so I can play video clips. And I think that's really going to help with some of the narratives that I talk about in kind of current events and things like that. So,
and we should have a state-of-the-art. Well, by state-of-the-art, I mean,
better than this living room.
Yeah, we should have a podcast studio. I would think in the next 3 months. We're going to have a podcast studio. Yo, Deanna. She's amazing.
Yes, she
Butter chicken. And apparently she makes amazing butter chicken.
Love it.
Yeah.
That is my nephew's girlfriend's mom. And they were just hanging out last night. And
I know. I love when I meet people and then they're like, hey, you know Colin Cutler. I'm like, yeah, you bet your ass I do. And I meet people who know you. through other methods.
So I really hope Quentin's still on because this is really funny. So my nephew is 21 years old. He had a birthday not too long ago. So
Right.
we took him. I said, "Oh, we're going to the fights. I'll buy you a drink or whatever."
Very nice.
So Allie joins us, sweetest girl. She's got her ID. He does not have ID. So we get kicked out of the packing house.
You got kicked out of the packing
Yeah,
house?
we got kicked out of the, which is good. Hey, everyone, packing house is following the rules. But he's 21. It's not like he's
Wow.
even 19. Like
No.
he's just an idiot. So we just ripped him the whole time. Also, Allie knows way more about like the fights than he does. I was like, not only is she more responsible than you, but she's way cooler than you.
Yeah.
And so he just really, he's like, come on, guys. And just Quentin took everyone's shit all day. But we
You
ended
know
up-
what?
we
He should
ordered
take
the
that as a
fights.
compliment. He's a closer.
That's right. We ended up just ordering the fights online. It was a good day.
I got myself a girl who's way, way, way better than me. What was that?
Leah says she loves cornbread, smoked burgers. All right.
Yeah,
Is
smoked burgers are
How do you
good.
smoke burgers?
Quentin Harding like craft dinner. Hey man, I love the craft dinner.
That's such a Canadian
That'd be
thing.
mine. That'd be
Craft
mine,
dinner.
man. Because I don't have it. Yeah, craft dinner, not mac and cheese, but craft dinner.
Craft dinner. That's
Craft
such a
dinner.
Canadian thing.
Yeah, man. I love craft dinner to this day. Like there are certain things that are just hardwired into my,
Yeah, I don't really eat craft dinner very much, but I just checked my bank account and I think I'm gonna go buy craft dinner today.
It's worth it, man. You know what?
That's not good.
Keep looking for that rainbow. Keep looking for that rainbow. Low bank account
Send
equals craft dinner.
money.
Send money
Yeah.
for our electrical issues.
So Leah, if you like cornbread, try making it without cornmeal. Use cream corn and blend it. So much better.
This guy knows what
Telling
he's
you.
talking about.
I make the best cornbread in the world.
My wife made some amazing cornbread over Thanksgiving. She made it in a what do you call it? One of
Pan?
those yeah, but one of
The
those
deep dish pan.
no. Yeah, but cast iron.
Yeah, deep dish cast iron.
Cast iron deep dish.
That's a traditional way.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the next day I came over and I mean, okay, her cornbread was amazing. It was a surprise. It was so good. And then I came over the next day and we podcasted and you gave me a piece of your cornbread. And I'm like, God damn, that's the best piece of cornbread I've ever had. And I've been down to Atlanta and had cornbread. And
Because you hadn't put it in your mouth yet. I was like, my wife made cornbread last night. I was like, it's not as good as that. Right as you took a bite, like, yeah, it's not as good as this.
yeah, and I mean, no offense to anybody out there, because like good cornbread is good cornbread, and Candy, you make great cornbread, but like I've been to Atlanta. Candy and I've been to Atlanta and
nothing
been
like my
into
cornbread.
oh my God, your cornbread was amazing.
So
How long
good.
did you take to make that?
Not to
Or
make it?
to
took-
hone that?
It took me 13 years to get the recipe because it's from Sergio's mom. She used to make it at Hector's. She would not give me the recipe. And then one day Sergio just took a picture of it. The funny thing though is he took a picture and sent it to me, but I couldn't decipher the fucking recipe because it's like, when people have the recipes and they understand it.
Yeah,
Like it had
some
shit-
shorthand. There's some shorthand on there.
shorthand, and then it had like things in there that weren't actually in there. So we're just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to just
Decoy
fucking over it.
ingredients.
I guess.
Oh my God, she wants to protect the.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this question:
No, I
as
haven't.
good as your cornbread bread is it as good as hers? Is it the same?
I'd say so.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say I
You
nailed it.
mastered
I think
it.
I got it. I think
You're
I
a
got
master.
it. Yeah.
Okay, somebody, Mrs. Handsome Pete.
Yes.
She's gonna love that I called her
yeah.
that. She's gonna love that so much. Oh, Mike Chisholm. Most
Sherry.
men have a woman better than them. LOL. But you two are pretty awesome, and I got myself a good guy too. Cornbread is yucky. All right,
Sherry is
Mrs.
better.
Handsome Pete
Sherry
has sounded
is
off
a
and
better
been a part of
human
this.
than Pete, though. Like, if just to stay on that theme,
Yeah?
she's a better human being than Pete. For
Well, there you
sure.
go.
Just like our girls are better human beings. Sherry's a sweetheart. We had a good heart to heart when we went to Golden. I love Sherry. She's
Aw,
awesome.
Well,
yeah.
look at the sweetness coming out of you today on this
Yeah, I'm just
amazing
saying.
Sunday
Just like
after daylight savings
just
time.
like Leah's a better human being than Ben Jr. I'm just saying women are better than us. It's
Yeah.
just true. It's just true.
Well,
Women are better than us.
except you see the new Bill Burr special.
No,
Except those crazy ones.
but our women are better than us.
Ours are, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, without a question. Without
Yeah.
a question. Bill Burr, yeah, I think it's called Paper Dragon or Paper Tiger or something. It is
Yeah.
Paper Tiger. It's very, very funny. And he challenges and says, well, what about these ones? And then kind of starts telling some stories. And
Love
he's-
it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go deeper down that hole.
Controversy. Hey,
Bill
did
Burr
it-
is amazing.
just to pivot a little bit. Actually, wait a minute.
Pivot.
You speak the truth.
I wonder who she was talking to.
Me, probably about women are better than men.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's just for the most part, it's just true. Men are slaves to testosterone and like male influence and a lot of stupidity. I'm not saying estrogen spikes are much better.
No, estrogen spikes suck. In fact, when our estrogen spikes, did you know? Okay, so do you know when this happens? And I mean, I'm talking about like Dr. John Gray knowledge here.
Okay.
So And I'm not
Interesting that you use Dr. Gray.
well, that's where I'm coming from. I love Men Are from Mars, Women from Venus is a book, a fantastic book, amazing. So according to him, like when our girl yells at us, what happens is like and like or a woman that we trust that we as men trust. Apparently, what happens is they yell at us and we take it kind of like holy.
Yeah.
Our estrogen spikes. It just naturally happens, and so then we have to go out and do something if we want to feel better or whatever. We have to go out and do something that will spike our testosterone.
Like punch drywall.
Yeah, like punch
Yeah.
drywall. Throw a kitten. No, I don't mean throw a kitten. I didn't mean that. I'd never throw a kitten. But
Throw a wiener dog.
you could throw a wiener dog. You would throw a wiener dog. I've seen it happen. But mostly you throw things for the wiener dog.
Oh.
Work out. Go have some sex.
Have
Hang out with the boys. You know. Have you ever heard the phrase "Saturdays for the boys"?
Saturday for the boys.
You ever heard that phrase?
I have.
It's a thing.
You just said it.
It's a thing.
Now
Oh wait, there's more. Cherie says that she loves us too. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. I'm just happy to be back here with you, man.
Hey, so little pivot. Did you watch the fights last night?
No, I didn't watch the fights last
Anyone
night.
watch the fights?
It was
last
funeral
night?
day last day. I was invited to the fights. Some people who was
man.
at the funeral I was at went and watched the fights after the funeral, and there was a
Did you
part
hear
of me
about
that
it?
was kind of no. So who's the BMF?
So, spoiler, cover your ears if you're watching it or have it recorded.
Who's the BMF?
So Nate Diaz had this plan to kind of wait to the fourth round to really ramp it up.
Uh-oh.
But Rogan is talking about how because he's such a veteran, he's got so much scar tissue built up
Uh-oh.
that he opens up like Slave on a wrestling show, right?
No.
Like tissue paper. So he gets cut early in like first round. He gets by the end of the first, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And right near the end of the third round, doctor stoppage.
Are you kidding me?
That's how it ended.
So nobody's the BMF after that fight.
No. Well, yeah, that's the thing is it's not definitive, right? It was really disappointing. And like I paid for the pay-per-view and like we were all hyped up and we're waiting for Diaz to like ramp it up in the fourth and just win in a bloody fucking heap. I don't know enough about those rules to be like, oh, it's all the doctor's fault. Because that cut was like this big.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean
huge.
I get it. I totally get it. But it's
scenario,
disappointing though.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. I love those Diaz boys so much. I like your cans. It's a nice set of cans you got. Those cans that are wrapped around your ears are very, very nice.
It's disappointing because of what the
Who wouldn't
belt
love to have a nice set of
was,
cans
right?
wrapped
Just
around their
wrapped
ears?
around your ears.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Are they comfortable?
They're comfortable. Yeah, they're settling.
Who wouldn't
in
like
quite
a
nice.
comfortable set of cans wrapped around their ears?
Yeah, they're settling in quite nicely.
Who wouldn't love a settled, comfortable pair of cans wrapped around their ears?
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
No, yeah, it was just a little. I mean, the rest of the fights were really good. For the first time ever, though, me and Mike Coulter betting on them,
right?
He clean sweeped me.
Really?
Yeah, cool. Because even Diaz was like my last hope to get anything. I was like, well, at least Diaz will get this fight, and then it was Dr. Stoppage. It was a great fight, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I'm certain every Diaz fight pretty much is.
It was a disappointing thing. That dude's got to have no brain cells left. Like he was just getting pummeled, and it looked like it didn't even phase him. He's like, all right, let's see what's next, and then just the ability to like stay forward and focus and like Jesus.
When I was a corporate trainer for Costco back in the day,
yeah,
they used to get me to go down to California for once a year, and I would stay in Stockton because it was the center of where I was. You know, there were warehouses to the north and to the south and to the east and west. Stockton was like geographically the perfect center. I stayed there 1 year, I should say. Stayed there 1 year, and I didn't know what Stockton was. And then you hear the Diaz boys going up there talking about how tough Stockton is, and then I start thinking, oh, you know what? Yeah, my Holiday Inn did happen to have bars over the over the window. I should have taken that as a cue.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was. And so the next year I stayed in Roseville, which is a ways from Stockton, but doesn't have near the, undesirables coming out of it. Yeah, there's no rep. There's no rep there.
Do you watch Crown Jewel?
Okay, so I watched the first half, I guess, of Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Lesnar fight, and thank goodness I was treated to that at the very beginning.
Yeah.
What a masterfully booked, as far as I'm concerned, what a wonderfully booked match.
Yeah, it was a great match.
I loved it so much. I was so happy.
I really enjoyed what they did and the realism there. And did you see the results?
I only heard about not Finn Balor. Who Bray Wyatt? Was Bray Wyatt in the main event?
Yeah, Bray Wyatt was in the main event.
He's the champion now. Is that
Universal
true?
Champion.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
want to know what you thought about that. About him
Um,
being Universal Champion.
well, I mean, it's interesting. Every time they make a character, and not that every pro wrestler isn't a character. Most pro wrestlers are characters, the good ones especially. But this is like an out there character. This guy wears a crazy mask. He's like a horror show. There's supernatural stuff involved in his antics. So to me, that's always an interesting thing. It is an amazing contrast to what AEW is doing. Is the fact that they have basically a cartoon character as their champion, and AEW is more of a realism based promotion. Sort of their realism, but the high spots that they do are also very unbelievable. So it's an interesting contrast that's going on right now. The idea of Bray Wyatt being champion is something that intrigues me, though.
I think it's the only way they could go with that booking.
Well, the way, unless they want to completely derail what they've been building with him, and the Fiend, did he kick out at one every time again? Like, was that part of his deal?
He took like 6 stomps. The 6 stomps thing started to disconnect me.
He took 6 curb stomps,
6 or 7,
and counted it a 1 every time.
No, because it wasn't like it was false count anywhere. So he's just like stomping him on the stage, and he wasn't pinning him.
Okay.
But they did this thing where he gets dumped off the stage through a bunch of electrical shit, and it sparks and blah blah blah. And then Seth goes to like pull him out, and it sparks and like gets his eye. And as he's like, "Fuck my eye," the Fiend just kind of like pops out of the rubble,
right?
And then like
mandible claws him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do love that he mandible claws guys.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm a fan of that because he's tributing my man Mick Foley, and I like Mick Foley a lot. Yeah, he is our boy. And so I'm intrigued in the fact that he is the champion.
Did you see the as like an interview he did with the guys from What Culture?
No.
Where Foley, I'm talking about.
No.
Where Foley admits that the fall off the cage was fake. It's like a big satire thing. So I didn't watch all of it, but he's like, I just really need to get this off my chest. It's been a lie for like years and years. Mama Roy is joining us for this
Mama
podcast.
Roy, welcome aboard.
Come on in. She's like, nah, I'm out of here.
It's a wave and that's it.
This is what happens when you couch cast.
Just want to make sure your power issue doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, that project has issues.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mold. Bad mold.
Danny Deeds has joined us.
Oh, that guy.
Danny Deeds has
a
show coming up next Friday in Abbotsford. I will be in the pre-show against Daniel McCobb. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I know who this guy is. I've seen interviews with him. I've watched him work a little bit.
Friday night in Abbotsford.
He's kind of a big deal. This guy coming up. He is known as the wrestling genius. He's got that old school British catch can, however you want to say that.
Right.
Greco-Roman style.
Yeah.
So he most likely will out wrestle me.
You gonna do some chain wrestling, are you?
I'm gonna try. I'm decent. He's gonna most likely out wrestle me until I knee him in the face, and that's pretty much how that goes. So I'm gonna watch out for his wrestling. He better watch out for knee upon knee upon knee upon knee.
Hey, speaking of Colin Cutler spots, we haven't talked about NXT yet. You and I went to NXT. And we were in the front row.
We also got some heat. So apparently you're not allowed. Apparently you're not allowed to joke around on the internet anymore. And you know what's really funny? And I'm not going to mention names because I'm not that type of person. But we worked workers, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And like, granted, we had been drinking, and it like
you'd been drinking.
Sorry, I had been drinking. I guess I was like, well, we're just ribbing. And it wasn't really a rib because it wasn't towards any one person. It was more just us being like weird goofs. But the people that were shitting on us, it was just odd. And I was like, well, it's just a rib. And they're like, well, that's a weird rib. I was like, well, I'm a weird dude. Like, what do you want from me?
Okay, so
but it wasn't really
this is the thing that I tweeted on the invasion thing. That's what got us heat, right?
And yours got the heat, but I posted first.
Right. So, okay, here's the deal. We were at the very beginning of NXT, before everybody had come in,
Can I just preface this by saying that everything everyone said, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, no, none of us
say
care.
That? Like, all of you that gave us heat, like, I don't care. Like, you're ridiculous, and
you're a little
the internet's silly. And anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so we go into the empty arena at NXT. Okay,
very empty.
Very empty.
Like 5 minutes to the show was supposed to start,
and it was close to the show beginning, but we there was a screen. The NXT, by the way, if you want to see a fun wrestling show and
Amazing.
NXT comes to your town,
Oh, the
you
show was
gotta
so good.
go.
That show
Holy,
was so good. And
it was so funny.
so here's the other, before you say what we
Okay,
said,
okay.
in no way are we trying to compare Invasion to
No,
a WWE product. Anyone that thinks that is like so like delusional
yeah.
and does not understand us two at all.
Right.
Like, it's not even a comparison. It's an independent show compared to a billion-dollar corporation.
And I'll say this too: the tweets that went up were meant to be deleted, and they were deleted.
Yeah.
The reason the tweets went up. Okay, so I'll tell you. I'll talk about exactly what happened.
I
So
hate that we're defending this.
we're
This
not.
is
We're
what-
explaining it. Like
No, I
this
hate
is
that
like
we're even explaining
no.
this.
I don't. And I'll tell you why. Okay, it's like people who don't know what pro wrestling is.
Internet.
It's like people who don't know what pro wrestling is, and then a wrestler comes in and goes, okay, and explains how it is. We're actually explaining things to pro wrestlers right now, which is
Yeah.
really funny to me.
Whatever.
Me. But so NXT came to town, and for those who don't know, NXT is like World Wrestling Entertainment, so the WWE, where all the big guys go. You know, the one that you've heard of, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan. Okay, they have sort of like, I hate to call it, but it's like a farm league almost.
It's like junior hockey. That's how
It's like junior hockey. It's like the farm league. And they have a show. It's called NXT, and that's where if you're gonna go train with the WWE, you go into NXT. We have friends that are in NXT right now, and you learn the craft, how to wrestle the WWE way.
Yeah.
And they also have a show, and the show is very different than the main WWE show.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, and it's got a huge fan base, and so they tour it around. And it came to Kelowna, and Colin and I were like, yes. We had an opportunity to get front row seats. It was amazing. We were right behind the gal who rings the bell and security and all that stuff.
We got
like
to
we
hang
were
out
right
with our
there.
boy B-Mac.
We got to hang out with B-Mac. That was so much fun, and it was just it was a really, really good time.
How dare we have fun?
I know, right?
How dare we?
How dare we have fun? So anyway, as we walk in, we look, and they've got a screen. Like they've got the full on. It's not exactly what you'd see on a Raw, but it's a neat touring rig that they have. It's a beautiful set.
It's beautiful set.
And on the set, they have people whoever hashtags NXT Kelowna,
they put it up.
their tweets are put up.
Yeah.
So, and you have to understand, Colin and I walking into this event, and there was probably 1,000 people there.
Okay,
Maybe there's 1,000 people.
To be fair, there was probably less than 1,000. And all our jokes aside,
Yes.
there wasn't that many people there for a WWE show.
There wasn't.
It was a low attended show.
Yeah, it was.
So like, it was a bit of tongue in cheek.
Yes.
But yeah, it wasn't a very attended show. Did we exaggerate? 100%.
Oh, 100%. And it was for a different reason. Like, so Cameron got us the tickets, and thank you, Cam, for that.
Thanks, Cam.
B-Mac, we had so much fun. It was great. And we got in, and we as we're walking in, like, you have to understand the crowd that was there. There was about 1,000 people, or less than 1,000 people, and most of them knew who we were. Like when we walked in, like they were like, "Oh, there's Chisholm and Cutler. Holy cow!" Like
most of the people we saw, it's not like we saw 1,000 people.
No. But we had a lot of
yes.
Hey, how's it going? A lot of that going on, right?
Yes.
Like it was funny.
It was the diehard wrestling fans in Kelowna. Yeah.
That's right. And so they knew who we were. And so as the Twitter thing was going on the screen, I'm like, oh, it'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if I took a picture of this arena, which is empty, right? And it's 5 minutes before the show from the Invasion Championship Wrestling Twitter account showing, hey, next time you're coming to town, give us a call. Hey, NXT Kelowna, next time you're coming to town, give us a call. We'll show you how to fill an arena or something like that. It was something like that. We were doing it to get it on the screen.
We were also
so the people who were in the arena would start laughing. That's all we were trying to do.
We were also immaturely outdrew NXT.
Yeah.
Like, and laughing, like thinking it's hilarious. Like, ha ha ha, look at us. But not. No, I hate that we're explaining this. This is our fucking brains. This is what we do. I was drinking. I thought it was funny. I hate that I have to explain this. I end up taking it down. I took my post down, and I usually don't take any post down. I don't give a fuck.
But the Invasion Twitter that I wanted to throw up there was planned on being taken down. We were putting it up there because we wanted to crack the crowd up. We wanted to make them the crowd who had a bunch of people knew who we were.
This is making me mad talking about
it. Yeah, but the best part about it though, so take that part out of it. We're tweeting, we're having fun. Forget all that. We're in the front row, and Finn Balor was on this show and stuff. But the best part about it was we're behind where the technical stuff is, right? Where the ring announcer sits, where the bell is rung, where the belts are kept for if a champion is there. And I look down, and there's this headset on the ground, and it's like I think there's pictures of me with it on the internet
Oh
somewhere.
yeah,
And you got some video of it. Maybe we'll put it up one day.
it's like the classic like commentating
Yeah.
headset.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And I recognize it from the Real Deal and stuff. It's like, oh, this is a real piece of broadcasting equipment. And here it is right here. So I thought, well, what else am I going to do? So I put it
He
on.
pulled it underneath the guardrail.
It was underneath the
and
guardrail
ran
already.
it up.
I just wanted to see if there's enough cable to get to my head.
That's
and
so
and
good.
there was. And so it had a full set of cans and a microphone thing on it.
For an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, so
More
most
than
of the
half
show,
show.
most of the show I had it on. And the beautiful thing about it was actually the technical cues as to what was about to happen.
Yeah.
So the director was in the back there and he was cueing the music people and the camera people and all the lighting rigs and all that sort of stuff.
So good.
And so literally
Carrie has joined us.
Oh, thank God Carrie's here. Now it's a podcast.
That was close.
Now it's a podcast. So as that was happening, I would hear, all right, cue Finn Balor. And Finn Balor actually came out as a surprise.
My favorite part was that because so Mike's just saying everything he's hearing,
Yes.
and I'm done.
Yes.
I have a little bit, but I hear him go and cue the lights, and then the lights go down as soon as he says it. And cue Finn Balor, do 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 do, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so good." He's telling us who's going over.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
doing
that's right.
Finishes. One point, somebody had like the flashy lights, and whoever was directing went and seizure time.
Yeah,
And
and
it
they
was
put on the strobe lights.
and they put the strobe lights on.
It was really
And
funny.
then an hour 40 minutes, the security guy comes over, gives Mike shit, threatens to kick him out at first, and Mike goes, "Oh, sorry, I thought it was a part of the VIP package." And then like 20 minutes later, the guy realizes like it's kind of his fault for like the guy. I watched the guy look at Mike.
He looked at me multiple
He
times.
thought that maybe Mike was that was his job.
And I'm cracking up people in the front row, like people beside us. I'm throwing out outlandish stuff. And all the people in the front row are laughing their asses off. A couple of people during intermission are like, "Hey man, love your commentary." I'm like, "All right."
And like 10 minutes later, the guy goes, "Listen, man, that was my fault. I should have known. I should have seen that." He's like, "That was pretty good." And
He
gave
shakes
Mike
my
a pat,
hand.
shook his hand. And it was all good times. I think that was the disappointing thing about getting the heat after is like I was just having so much fun being silly. And like, I don't do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't go out a lot. I work a lot. I don't get to enjoy watching wrestling shows very often.
Yeah.
We literally just went out and had fun and had a good night. And then you come back and everyone has to kind of be sour and do the classic social media, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'll tell you.
The other problem I had with it too is the people in question were like posting about us, but not like ever talking to us directly, which is just really cowardly.
Nobody has. I haven't even seen any of the posts, to be
Well,
perfectly frank.
I've had some conversations, but it was just, I mean, they weren't even towards me, they were towards you.
Yeah.
But it still, I was.
So do I have heat with anybody out there
Who
still?
gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, I don't. Not
I
even a
don't
little bit.
know.
I'm just
Who
curious if I
cares? Who
do.
gives a shit?
Yeah, it's
Just
weird.
like if you're not man enough to like talk to somebody one-on-one, don't post secretly.
No.
behind. And then other people piled on and were like, "Yeah, glad you said that." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you." Like,
I haven't seen any of it. You
it's
said
awful.
we had heat, and then I was like, oh, okay, so
I've
here's
had
how,
heat since day one.
so here's what was happening for me. For the past 5 days, that was on a Sunday that happened.
Yeah.
5 days previous, my father-in-law had a stroke, and he was already in poor health, and so he was literally on his deathbed.
Yeah.
And so he was on his deathbed for like, it was 5 days, and I literally had one break. And that break was going to that NXT show with you. So that was a lot of fun.
You almost didn't go.
Yeah. And so it was like, okay. And so it was like, thank you so much, brother. I love you so much. Okay, you go home now, drop you off.
Yeah.
And then I'm back in the thick of it again with so that night we're over at my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. My father-in-law has since passed. And we're over at their house. And I just get this text, "Hey man, we got heat." And I'm like, what? What?
Oh man.
And so
We're like the most innocent people. Like we don't do anything to try to get heat, but we still do. This is what I always tell my students, and this is what Lance told us. He said, whatever you do, don't be so paranoid that all you ever do is try not to get heat. Because no matter how much you try not to get heat, you're still gonna get heat.
Totally.
Just try to minimize it. Try to just be a nice person, a respectful person. The whole thing was silly. Anyways, I'm over talking about it.
Cherie Thomas Petrick. I don't know if Cherie was talking about this or not. OMG, people got all butthurt over that.
Yeah, and it's like
I guess that's
classic internet butthurt, but whatever. It is what it is. People
is butthurt a thing?
Butthurt's a thing, yeah.
I haven't heard butthurt.
Never heard butthurt?
Never heard butthurt.
It's just fun.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I understood it, I think, but I didn't know butthurt was a thing. But I'm just starting to say sick now. Like I'm saying, like it takes a long time for these things to hit me sometimes. Sick is like
over.
No. Is it?
Oh, you can't. Well, you can use sick, I guess. I say sick sometimes, but I'm old.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Sick.
old too, but I
say it like
I still
this.
want to sound young.
Sick.
Do you say it like that?
Sick. Yeah. If
Yeah.
I ever say sick, sick.
So if you're wearing a pair of sneakers that are nice, and I say, hey man, those are sick kicks.
Oh yeah, that kind
Are
of
you-
rhymes too. That's cool.
Yeah, you're not laughing at me.
Oh, I definitely laugh at you.
Okay.
Yeah, but I laugh at you a lot. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
only
me
thing. That's
too.
not really that's a false equivalency though.
Okay. False equivalency.
Which, by the way, false equivalencies and
Right.
memes is like the new black.
False equivalency.
Oh my god, false equivalencies and memes. I can't. I'm literally not even like explaining anymore. I'm just like false equivalency, like when people post, I'm like false equivalency, false equivalency, false equivalency. It's the new thing for political memes. You just take two things that you don't like and compare them.
Is it a burn?
No, do you know what a false equivalency is?
Nah, not really.
Okay, a false equivalency is like comparing two things as like, I wish I had an example, but it'd be like, I don't like this because it contradicts this or whatever, but like they have nothing to do with each other, and there's
Okay.
like way more nuance in between there than just comparing the two things.
All right.
Oh man, if I showed you a meme and explained to you a false equivalency, you'd understand.
Could I do like Guardians
Quentin, why are you asking how old I am? How old are you? Add 10. Like, come on, man. My nephew is 10 years younger than me. Add 10 to how old you are.
Okay.
That's why I never forget how old he is.
Isn't there something about your attention span? You take your age and you add 6 minutes or something. That's what your attention span is.
Oh my god, Quentin couldn't remember his girlfriend's birthday last night.
He couldn't remember her birthday?
Funny.
How long has he been with her? He's been with her a long time.
Way too long to not remember.
Yeah.
And we're like trying to she was like on her phone trying to make a profile for the UFC app so that we could like watch the fights.
Right.
And then I think he was trying to do something and like ask for birthday. And he's like, "What's your birthday?" I was like, "Did you just ask her what her birthday is?" And then he started panicking. And then she's like, "What's my birthday? What's my birthday? What's my birthday?" And he's like so panicked. It was so funny.
Hey,
man.
Quentin, when's my birthday? He has no idea. No one knows when my birthday is.
So I was reading Carrie's.
Oh, Carrie, yeah, Carrie Palmtree.
Have an experience.
She is happy we're back. I guarantee it.
Oh, that's nice. She's just saying it's nice to like to come to a wrestling show and just get a break from reality. And that's what it's all about. It's about
Sure.
people coming to the show and just having some fun. And
Sure.
oh, Quentin wants to know how old you are.
How old I am? How old do you think I am, baby?
Quentin, why are you bringing this up? Because I knew I'd get that reaction.
Oh, that's great.
They've been together 4 years.
4 years. He doesn't know her birthday.
He probably does. I think we just made him panic.
It takes a special kind of listlessness to know that.
May
That's-
22nd, 1989. Boom. That's Jen's.
Oh,
I don't know Allie's.
I'm not gonna say Candace's out loud for the year because it may, bite me in the ass. But I'll tell you that her birthday is in the first part of May.
There's a lot
Tell
of
you that.
May babies. There's so many people born in May. What
Maybes.
does that mean? Like
Maybes.
when were they being conceived? Go backwards.
My granddaughter was born April 24th, and it changed my life forever.
Wasn't she early though?
Not too early,
but early enough that her birthday should be May.
Yeah, like her birthday was.
Just saying.
Her birthday was actually, I believe, my daughter-in-law was due. I believe right close to Candy's birthday, actually, if I have that right. I may not have that right, but I think so. So I think she was born like a week earlier or a week and a half earlier than what we thought.
That's
But she came out
August,
perfect.
right? There's a lot of people doing it in the summer.
Doing it August style.
Is that right?
Doing it August
Did I do
style?
the math right? A lot of-
September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yes, man.
So many.
A lot of
people.
August sex equals a lot of May babies. There should be a conversion chart for that so we can just look at it
February
shorthand.
8th. February 8th, mother. February 8th.
What's my birthday? You've known me for 31 years.
February 8th.
Your mom's right about that. You've known her for 31 years. That's because you're 31.
I may not have known her for 31 years because the first few years I don't think you really know what's going on.
No, that's true. That's
Pretty
true.
sure it's February 8th.
Do you? Oh,
that's
sweet.
what Facebook's for.
That's what Facebook's for. But my Facebook, if it does say a birthday, it's a false one. Nobody knows what my birthday is.
I'm not gonna say my mom's year because she might not like.
See, that's like what I did with my wife.
February
See, that's a smart
8th,
thing to
though.
do. February 8th.
Correct me if I'm wrong. February 8th. She's not saying anything though, so now I'm a little paranoid.
No, don't
Like
be paranoid.
99.8% sure.
Don't be
It's
paranoid.
February 8th.
I still think that it's funny that we got heat from those from that.
Whatever. And honestly, the people that we got heat from, I really love, like in the wrestling business. But I lost a little bit of respect. For
I don't
them.
even know who they are. So whoever they
Don't worry
are,
about it.
just
Doesn't matter.
if
I will say I lost a little bit of respect for you though.
just come and talk to me. I'm right here.
Yeah,
And
that's what.
and I
lose
talk to
respect
people.
for.
I'll
That's
talk
why
to
I
you.
lost respect for
I'll
them.
do it publicly. I'll talk
Whatever.
publicly with you.
Not everyone has to like us. I get it, but the whole
Oh, yeah, no,
the whole
no, that
like
ship sailed for me a long time
the
ago.
whole thing was just silly.
There are so many people who don't like me, and I don't even know who they are, and I don't care.
Yeah, you used to
Because I got a lot of people who like me, and a
I'm
lot of people who
just-
love me, and people who are like who I love them. Like I have a very deep, meaningful like this. I'll tell you this: when somebody very close to you dies, the first time my wife and I lost a parent, and I'll tell you this: you sure know
Yes, got
who
it
the people.
right.
You got it right.
Oh,
Correct. All right, nice job. You know your mom's birthday.
right.
My mom's birthday is at the end of August. It's the 28th day of August.
Nice.
But she doesn't have any May babies, so I guess my dad never put out for my mom around her birthday.
Correct. Send presents.
Send presents.
You will have my presents.
Because if my mom's birthday is at the end of August, you'd think that she'd have at least one of her kids would be a May baby, but I guess my dad didn't put out. I'm just saying, like, come on, Dad, what are you doing?
When's your dad's
it's a birthday. My dad's birthday's in June.
Were you born 9 months after that?
No.
Like you were just like, wait, hold on a second.
If I were in the habit of telling you that when my birthday is, which I'm not, I might say maybe.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that once a year.
But I'll tell you when my sister's is. It's in November, and my brother's is in July.
So your sister's got a birthday coming up. Don't forget.
Well, it's hard to forget it.
Because it's November 11th?
That's right.
And you have to remember it?
That's right.
I love it.
That's exactly right. My sister was born on Remembrance Day.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Lest we forget my sister's birthday.
We forget.
Yeah. Her name's Eva. Her name's Eva Marie.
What up, Eva? No way her name's Eva Marie.
I'm dead serious. And you know what I like to tell people?
Is she redhead?
No, she's not.
She dyed her hair red?
No.
Blue?
Neither red nor
purple?
blue.
Maybe it was purple.
No.
She was in a movie, Eva Marie, not your sister?
No.
Yeah, that Eva Marie girl, she was in a movie. She gets killed early, but because she's a WWE superstar person, they had her on the cover of the movie on Netflix because they knew people would watch it with her face.
Huh.
But she dies like super early in it. I was like, oh man, she wasn't bad though.
Yeah, she was a good actress.
She plays like a lesbian who pretty sure she like lures some girl into having an affair with her or something, but yeah, she gets killed pretty early on.
People loved lesbians in the 90s, like
I love
big
lesbians
time.
now.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
So it's timeless?
Oh yeah.
You saying lesbians are timeless?
There's I'm rewatching.
That sounds
House.
like a t-shirt to me.
I'm rewatching House.
LGBTQ t-shirt. Lesbians are timeless.
On the last episode, Olivia Wilde is making out with her girlfriend in the show, and I was very happy, and then it was over really quickly, and then I was sad.
You were attracted to that scene?
Yeah, it's Olivia Wilde making out with a girl. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde is quite attractive.
Yeah.
Quite attractive. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
13 from House? Oh, come on.
No, don't know.
Rewatch House. Hey, I was thinking about doing an entire video on because I'm rewatching House, like kind of it's my I was saying to somebody the other day, because I have a lot of stress going on at work right now.
Right.
And I'm wrestling more. It's got a lot going on,
Yeah,
the house or whatever.
Right.
House is kind of like my my way of shutting my brain off and just rewatch and binge House a little bit when I have some free time.
I never watched that show.
Oh, it's so good. And you watch it chronologically, because when I first watched it and a lot of the characters I like would leave and blah, 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 you get kind of like salty about that.
Right.
But when you rewatch it and look at it from the lens of it's supposed to be the development of the character, right? Of House. It's all about House. His narcissism.
House is the man.
And him pushing people away. And blah,
He's the
blah.
British man pretending not to be a British man.
Brilliant.
That's that guy, right?
You know that show's based off Sherlock Holmes, right?
No.
Yeah, Holmes' house. And Wilson is his best friend, Wilson Watson.
Oh.
Right. And in the original Sherlock Holmes stories, Sherlock Holmes was addicted to opium, and that was how he it was brilliant and how he came to all these conclusions. And House is addicted to Vicodin. They added the
there a Moriarty character?
Who's Moriarty?
Moriarty is the arch villain of Sherlock Holmes.
Nah, he's got a few different villains.
Is there one who's as smart as he is?
Yeah, like the Wilson. Yeah,
and totally
Watson.
and
Yeah,
totally.
Wilson.
No. Moriarty was brilliant like Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was because of opium or not, but it was. I know Moriarty was like his. If you really want to learn about Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty, there's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation that you can watch where Data goes into a world. Oh, Tyler Mason, he can maybe help us. Where Data goes onto the holodeck and he's like wanting to be beaten intellectually, and so they create like this Professor Moriarty character, and Anyway, it
Right.
tells you all about Sherlock Holmes.
Well, I mean, in House, he has Cuddy, who's like the dean of medicine, and she kind of like,
It's not Kid Cudi though, is it?
it's not Kid Cudi.
Charlotte Morrison just joined. Hey, we talked about you.
Yeah, Charlotte, we've been talking about you. Well, we had been talking about you at the very beginning.
Yeah, you got to go back to the beginning, but don't do it now because you're here live.
We said some nice things.
Do it after
but
and then
also some
share it.
Rib things.
We said some nice rib things about you.
And I also said some things about how terrible of a driver you are. She
Did
knows
you?
that now.
Did you say that?
Kind of a little bit.
I didn't remember.
Well, I said we wouldn't let her drive. That was the only rule.
You did say that. Yes.
That was the only rule. Charlotte was not driving.
Yes, you did. I thought it might be because you were insinuating she couldn't reach the pedals.
She was a good sport, though.
She's really short.
We had a good
she's
crew.
super short. She's cute and short.
She fell asleep on the way there, though, and I was like doing this to like wake her up, and then someone behind me like, that was a bad idea.
I can't.
They probably think I'm drunk.
Wow. I can't believe Michael Moore didn't shave off one of her eyebrows.
He did not. I was so hungover the next morning that I had to do like a child's pose in the shower, and just to get it together, I had to take a knee. Like,
Wow.
it was bad. I went into the gas station as we were driving out just to grab like some gum and stuff, and the girl looks at me. I look so rough, and she goes, "Do you need some coffee or something?" I swear to God, not even joking. She's like,
the gas station
attendant
attendant says to you, "Hey,
she
you need
was
some
like,
coffee or
she's like,
something?"
anything else, like some coffee?
Oh
or
my
something?
God, that's amazing.
I
You
might
must have
have
looked awesome.
Or maybe I reeked like booze still.
I want a podcast with that guy.
So funny, man.
I totally want a podcast with that
so that's
guy.
like a once a year, once in every few years type thing. So
Yeah.
that's the one parting all my kids get with Colin Cutler. Everything else is one drink at the sponsor and go home.
And you're out.
And I'm out.
Although at the wrestling show, we got you way more drinks than that.
Yeah, they gave us some drinks by accident. Mike doesn't drink beer, so we took the 2 beer that they gave
and
us,
the 2
and
ciders.
then they brought us 2 ciders. So I had
like,
2 beers and a cider. That's not bad though. 3 drinks.
You got 2-for-1 drinks, which basically made it so if you're buying drinks at any normal place, you got them for about 20% above that. Stadium pricing on alcohol sucks, and that was giving us 4 drinks for the price of 2, and it still didn't really, what are we at? What are you doing here?
I'm just checking some things.
All right, you checking the time on the YouTube? Do we still have a viewer on YouTube?
Who knows?
I don't know. No, I'm certainly not one of them.
I really enjoy doing these episodes where we catch up. We did this like the second one where we don't really have a topic. We just kind of catch up.
Next week is death, and I'm ready to talk about death. Like the funeral was yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's death's interesting. I've really had a new kind of dimension of death open up. The Dimension of Death. Holy shit, that sounds.
That's what we should call it.
That sounds brutal. Okay, Dimension of Death. World of Grey presents the Dimension of Death.
Well, and it's like a really big, heavy topic, and I really want people to join us on that one.
Yeah,
because I want to.
Join us in death.
Death is such
next week on the World of Grey podcast.
Big topic with so many different opinions, and everyone's gonna have a little bit of a variance in how they feel about it. But everyone is just living in a society divided by black and white arguments. And we are here to explore the world of gray. I am Kelowna's Cougar Meat Kid Colin Cutler.
The Flow, Mike Chisholm is who I'm named. Who I'm
you're almost there. You fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
Peace
and love. One time I was doing the peace and love, and they're like, "Why are you calling people a loser?" I'm like, "I'm not."